I am live. Welcome. I am Bobbi Rowntree, born medium, and this is my live feed. Today, we are going to talk about one of my favorite subjects. One of my favorite subjects, especially when it comes to spirituality, is the chakra system. If you know me, you know I'm a little bit obsessed with the chakras. I actually even call myself a whore for the chakras because I love them so very, very much. And because I believe that the chakras provide us with a little bit of a map of our own spiritual bodies. Actually, the chakras provide us with an actual map of our spiritual bodies, not a little bit of a map, an actual map of our spiritual bodies. And in my pursuits, what I do a lot of is, hello, Linda. Hello, Susan. I'm sorry, I didn't acknowledge you, Susan. I apologize. I've asked him to wait 8 minutes. And I believe he will adhere to that because so far he has. So I have asked him for 8 minutes. So, hello, Jane. Hello, Linda. Welcome today. It's been a long time since I've been live, and it's but for nothing else. Why haven't I been live? Exhaustion. It's been a little bit exhaustion. Hello, Jane. I am. Lisa came to visit yesterday. Hello, Stacy. Jerry has a great place where we are probably going to do a lot of goddess energy stuff and really get into our witchiness and clear some energy and things like that. So we're going to have fun at Jerry's house. Hello, Stacy. Don't know if I said it. I may have just said it. Anywho, so today, like every day, in the last couple of days, I've been listening to the Bhagavad Gita in my ears because I will listen to books that I can't take the time to read because I read a lot of books and I listen to a lot of books because I'm constantly trying to get new ideas and more clarification on things because in my readings, I actually they can't put new ideas in my head during a reading. I actually have to do the research and know the new ideas myself. And then they can take those ideas that are in my head and use them. Hello, Connie, you know what I'm talking about. And use them to use the ideas I already have. They use those ideas to show me the things that I need to say for the people that I am reading. So I hope that made sense. So because of that, I am compelled to, I feel the need to constantly learn. That's why I'm always lending my books out to people because I believe very, 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 very strongly that we can learn from each other and that the reason we're down here is to actually learn more. And yes, a great deal. Hello, Julie. A great deal of that knowledge is actually within us. It is within our soul, within our mind, within our bodies. We actually came down here with a great deal of knowledge, but we need to be reminded of that amount of knowledge all the time. And also we need to fulfill the contract of creating more knowledge for ourselves. That's how I just heard it. So it must mean something. Hello, Pat. Hello, Nancy. Hello. I know I've been through this, Deidre, and Cedri, I do believe we have gone through your pronunciation, and I can't even believe I have to ask you that. Hello, Pamela. I said your name funny, didn't I? Okie dokie. Okay, sorry. I'm reading people's comments instead of finishing what I'm saying. I'm going to finish what I'm saying, and then I'm going to read people's comments. This is the book that I picked up today. Now, I have been listening to the Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita is a very, very, very ancient text. It is, I believe, originating from the region that we would call India. And I say that because borderlines and things like that have changed throughout the years, and the Bhagavad Gita is so ancient, so ancient that it might not reflect what we see as certain countries, but the region. Anywho, it's an amazing book. I highly recommend reading it if you can get a copy of it. I got my copy at the used bookstore right by the library, you know, my favorite bookstore. But also YouTube. YouTube has a few copies of it that you can peruse because I don't know the authenticity of each copy, but at least I think that you can get a little bit of the gist of what is being said. This book I picked up, Psychic Healing, because it was given to me. I believe this one was gifted to me by my wonderful husband. I believe it was. He has gifted me so many amazing books, so I'm not quite sure. It goes through different types of healing. I highly recommend this book. I just opened it up right to chapter 3 today and went, what? Are you kidding me? Really? And what I found is I think it was about 3 videos ago, I put out, hello, Verna. I put out a video. I put out a video regarding DNA and how when I see the other side, it looks like DNA. And the more I see, and actually, it was watching The Big Bang Theory where I was like, oh, that's the DNA helix. That reminds me of the other side. Well, when opening this up, she compares the DNA helix with the Kundalini energy that's running through our bodies. It makes so much sense to me, and I'm going to peruse it further, and I'm going to try to make a video to try to amalgamate these ideas somewhat. It might come in several different videos, but I'm going to do it because this makes so much sense. And it is, hello, Debbie. And this is further to my assertion that our DNA is a very, very big part of our psychic energy. And to me, it just helps to prove my other assertion that you all be psychic. I be psychic, you be psychic. We're all psychic people, but we pretend or don't know or have forgotten that we are those things. So, anywho, let's get to the fun. Okay, we're going to get to the fun. Woohoo! Okay, so first off, I am going to read some of the comments, and I'm coming for you, Susan. I am absolutely coming for you. I think I might be coming for you right now. Okie dokie. So the first thing I actually hear, and the first thing I hear is actually, Mom, I'm okay. The second thing I hear is, Mom, it wasn't my fault. The third thing I hear is, Mom, I didn't want to leave you. I believe all those things to be absolutely true. But then at the same time, I do not feel sadness with them. I think when he tells you that he's okay, he is absolutely telling you the truth. He is okay. I do believe he's a little bit concerned or worried for you because of the love you have for him. He shares that love, but it's almost, it is very much like, I don't know your belief system when it comes to the other side, or what might befall somebody who's gone to the other side. I do not know if your son was the orchestrator of his passing. He's saying some words that kind of make me feel that way. Sometimes being the orchestrator of your passing can have a lot to do with your behavior leading up to it rather than the action itself, or sometimes it's the action itself. In all ways, actually, it's most likely the behavior that leads up to it, period. He's doing this, which I'm not quite sure exactly what he's doing there. It almost looks like he's trying to, but that's not the words that match. The words I get are build something for you. It doesn't entirely match what my mind wants me to think of it as, but it makes sense. I wonder actually if your son was like a builder kind of human being, that if he was living at your house and had time, money, and energy, that he could build you a shed. I don't know, because he's comparing himself to a young man that's in my life, my soon-to-be son-in-law, in fact, who I think is one of the hardest working little persons I've ever met. And I really shouldn't call him a little person because I completely look up to him because he's way bigger than me, but so are a lot of people. He's showing a comparison, and if he's showing a comparison with that young man who is that he's comparing himself to is, in my mind, one of the grooviest people I've ever met. He's just a lovely young person who is a real hard worker and quite forthright in his heart. And I think that your son is comparing himself in a favorable way to him to show that he is that as well, and is continuing to be that on the other side. But it doesn't. That kind of feels reachy for me a little bit, like I'm reaching for some sort of explanation. I also, I don't know if he had a girlfriend when he was here, because, or he has a little sister or somebody who was a contemporary of some sort, but he is pointing to that too. I actually also wonder, I don't know if he's new, um, or unaccustomed to communicating in this way. I think it's actually a little bit more that unaccustomed to communicating in this way, but I do not think that he is unaccustomed to trying to communicate with you. I actually even wonder if you've heard his voice in your head or thought you heard him somewhere else in the household. But if you believe that he is visiting you in your sleep, I would not say that is untrue, because I'm seeing you laying in bed and I'm seeing activity in your head that has everything to do with him. And then it looks like he tries to make it outside of you. So I'm not quite sure what he's doing. Well, I do know what he's doing there. He's trying to communicate with you in a way that you'll understand. And your dog might bark, or might bark at him, or there is something about a dog, or if a dog, because it's so hard to do if I don't have you to say things, but if a dog predeceased him, then he's trying to tell me that the dog is with him. Or if you still have the dog and the dog is unnecessarily barking, it might be because he's making the dog bark. And he makes it look like he would make the dog bark just to make the dog bark, just to get in touch with you or to help you to understand it's him. And I don't know if he came in late sometimes and made the dog bark and that's why he's trying to show, or if he's just trying to show himself sneaking into your house and thus making the dog bark. So I hope that helps, Susan. I absolutely do. And please feel free to ask questions. Okie dokie. Blessings to you too, Linda. Thank you ever so much. Yes, and we talked. Linda, could you please ask my departed dad anything that'll describe our new home and when? Thank you. Okay, this is interesting. It's sooner than you think. And you might be looking for love in all the wrong places, because I'm hearing that song. So you might want to also shoot for the moon. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Your new home has to be in a place that's energetically satisfying to you, Linda. It's very, very, very important. I think you actually might be sensitive to something that he says, the rays, but I kind of think that it might have to do with, yeah, okay. It reminds me of the poison arrows that they talk about in feng shui, how certain energies can actually go straight into things. Like in feng shui, you don't want to have your front door at the end of a street. That's poison arrows right in. You want to divert it. There's something like that. You can't have things going full at you. And it's interesting because I think I've seen this before, because they're showing it to me before, and I know I'm pretty sure I'm aware of our link. I'm pretty sure that I'm right in the awareness. I think, but I'm seeing where I used to live, and I'm seeing just north of there. So I used to live in Kamloops, went to high school there, and there's a region in Kamloops, a little bit north of Kamloops, west side, where there was something going on with the power lines. There was most definitely something going on. People were getting sick. That's what I'm looking at with you. That interesting. I'm back and forth on whether or not I'm supposed to steer you away from there, because I almost wonder if they want you in a place like that so that you can balance the energy with the things that you do, and the things that you are going to do. I don't know if you have a practice. Do you have a practice? Because if you have a practice, yeah, it's part of that. Okie dokie. Okay. What your father actually shows me is that they want you to concentrate not so much on the location of the house, but the house itself. And that's kind of interesting. It reminds me very much of when people are manifesting a love of their life or a partner of some kind. You want to, okay. So it's very, very much like that. And maybe I'm seeing that because that is something you're so fully aware of. And I have a deep, dark feeling, I have a good feeling that you are aware of manifestation. So You might want to look at seeing what kind of garden you want to have, what color you want the house to be, the feeling that you want the house to give you when you walk in the front door. I actually see a beautiful garden, very much like my garden, because I love my garden. And I have a lot of bleeding hearts in my garden. That's actually something that I see. And I plant bleeding hearts for people on the other side. I also see the house as being yellow, which doesn't have to mean it's yellow. I so very often see houses in my future as being yellow, and I kind of think it's empowerment and sunshine. It's beautiful. It's something, yeah, yellow. And I'm not a yellow person, I mean that I don't really gravitate towards the color yellow quite very. Yeah. Anyway, and when you walk in, it looks like it's fresh air when you walk in. Like I can feel a nice, not a cool breeze, but I have to say a cool breeze because a cool breeze is kind of like a fresh sort of breeze. So it looks like that as well. Also, when you walk in, it looks like you're walking into my house. It's just kind of funny. Want to buy my house? Anyway, because I saw my garden, but my house is burgundy. Anyway, so there's something like that, and they want you to put that as part of your manifestation. Honestly, if it were me, because I like to draw and get things outside of me, I would draw the house. And I would draw the things that I want to see in the house. I would even actually design the floor plan myself, but that's just me. But there might be something similar that is more in your personality, or maybe those are the things in your personality as well, because I do believe you are a woman of an artistic nature. Okie dokie. I hope that helped. Okay, Pat. Hi, Bobby. This morning something happened, and the first person I thought of was you. Oh, that's very sweet. Thank you. I hope so. That you would know whether to worry or not. Then I saw your FB post. Oh, awesome. Well, I hope my FB post made you feel good. And I did 3 this morning, so I'm not entirely sure which one, but I kind of think it's the Sunday one. It's going to be the best part of this week, I do believe. So yeah, you're absolutely right, Pat. It's all in the way you look at things. That's how I'm supposed to say it to you. So I hope that my FB posts helped, because that's the reason I do them. That's the reason I do them. It's absolutely the reason I do them. Okie dokie. Hello, Nancy. I don't know if I said hello to you. I believe I said hello to you, Pamela. And I'm saying hello again, Verna. And Dietrich is laughing at me because of my mispronunciation of her name. Okie dokie. This is a good, yes. Grandmother said we are here to watch for the watchers as we are the seekers. Oh, I do like that. I really, really like that. So would you say, Jerry, and this is the way I would interpret that, your grandmother, we are here to watch for the watchers. So we are here for the higher beings, for the light. And we are trying to learn while we're here. Is that right? I hope so, because that's the way I see it. Okie dokie. And I'm glad to be here, but golly sakes, I hope I learned this time. Okie dokie. Just wondering about my test that I had done. I'm seeing a surgeon next Tuesday. Did you say see you next Tuesday to him? Because I just had a client, we had a good giggle about that. See you next Tuesday. Sorry, guys, if you are offended. I apologize. See you next Tuesday. Okie dokie. Just wondering about my tests. I got A pluses on all of them. So you're going to do well on your tests. Sometimes tests with doctors aren't the ones you actually want to do well with, usually. But maybe this is a blip. I'm actually hearing it as a blip. The way that they're showing it, they are showing, because my medical training is that of a yoga teacher. So I don't have any really. And I just had the people in my mind. So this is going to sound very childish, possibly, and seeing it as though I'm looking at an x-ray like on TV, and I see a little thing, a little blip. And I do believe it's snot. When I see something as snot, it is what snot is. Snot is our bodies actually pushing out impurities and yuckies out our nose because we don't need them. And snot coagulates because the body, when it doesn't want stuff there, will actually go, get out of me. This is not, you do not work with the group. So it's something like that. I do see it as I hope that looks as small as it's supposed to look. I see it as small, and I do a blip. It's a blip. It's a blip on the radar. And they want you to think of it as a blip on the radar. They also, ah, I'm going to have to say this. I'm sorry. They actually want you on Tuesday morning to say, I am so grateful for all that I am going to learn. I am so grateful that the doctor is going to meet with me. Huh. I am so grateful that the doctor is looking to help, because honest to goodness, not every one of us manages to find a doctor who is willing to dig around and help and do things for you, and look for things and actually want to find a way to heal. And I kind of think you may have found one of those. You may have actually found yourself a doctor who wants you to be better or feel better, be better. Poor choice of words there, isn't it? But at the same time, it's a little bit of the same too. I don't know if this is near or around your heart chakra or in that area. They are actually kind of showing it so that it is behind the heart, and it might not be, but they might be. I think they're showing me your heart. Yeah, they're okay. They're showing your chakra as being beautiful emerald green. They also, and we all kind of know this, pink quartz is, to me, the chakra, well, not just to me, to many, many, many thousands, the heart chakra opens as green and closes as pink. And the pink quartz is very much used for the heart chakra within the healing realm. They want you to do that. And my goodness gracious, if you have an emerald, I would put that baby on as well. Just under the understanding that you are supporting the healing process within you. That's how they want you to put it. They also want me to say to you, surgery isn't always a bad thing. Surgery is also an invitation to rest, an invitation to recuperate, and it's an invitation to relax without judgment, without anybody else getting all at you about doing it. Also, please, if surgery is what's going to happen, yeah, they want you to look at this as a very, very big learning process. They actually even want you to learn about the part of your body. Because in looking at this book, it is showing me, because I'm always telling everybody about it, my lumps and things. I think they have everything to do with my Kundalini energy and what I do for you guys and what I do for me, and the energies that run through me that I don't completely and absolutely understand or even honor in the proper way that I'm supposed to. And therefore, that is why I believe that that's happened, meaning that it is something I am doing or not doing, but also something I did not realize. So I kind of think it's a similar thing for you. And they want you to look at where this is and start to look at the spiritual aspects having to do with the chakra it's in and those sorts of things. Okie dokie. So, and good luck to you. It's going to be wonderful. Yes. Okay. Okie dokie. Now, Nancy. Okay. Now, interesting. I'm surprised I have to say this to you, young lady. The first message they say, they show you holding a hand mirror and you say, I love you into the hand mirror. Sometimes we forget. I will absolutely agree there. Sometimes we actually completely forget to tell ourselves that we love ourselves. This might actually be connected to a particular incident or something that's going on right now, because I've actually seen something right here in your stomach area. So you might not be feeling powerful in some sort of way. And the I love you therapy is very much an empowering therapy, because it comes in and tells you that, well, that you love yourself. And when we feel loved, we actually feel empowered. When we know we have someone right beside us that loves us unconditionally, we feel a little bolder, we feel stronger, we feel actually emboldened, like somebody is behind us and helping to move us forward. So please do that for you, because I kind of think you kind of have to be the one to do it for you right now. And I'm actually even wondering if actually it's somebody else that you love that's going through something and you can only help in a certain amount of way, or a certain amount of way. You can only help to a certain extent, and that is what's going on inside. That's the way that's my feeling I have inside of me. It doesn't absolutely have to mean it's another person. It could be that there's something going on with you and it's affecting another person, but Yeah, and it's interesting that they give you the "I love you" therapy for that. I think that's kind of snot. It's neat. It's smashing, actually. That was supposed to be snazzy, but it went into snot somehow, and then smashing. So I hope that makes sense. And yes, please feel free to ask questions. Okie dokie. Looking for guidance around things close to home. I hope that helped. If it did not, please, get at me again. Okie dokie. Hello, Lily. Okie dokie. Can't help but wonder if we use our psychic ability and plus on it more often, we'll get stronger. Yep. 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 I completely and absolutely agree. That's why I totally get behind the idea of getting together with a bunch of your friends and trying psychic stuff with each other. Just taking the playing cards and putting them on your head and saying, "What playing card is on my head there, Sally?" And then Sally can do it to you, and then you can do it to Fran, and then Fran can do it to Holly, and everybody's helping each other see the way they see because we all see differently. We all completely see differently. Some of us don't see. Some of us hear only. Some of us feel only. Some of us get cognitive reasoning. We all get it in different ways, and if you start to play with your friends, the people that you can trust, that aren't going to try to screw you up a little bit, or because I know I've had it with when I'm doing readings and I'll ask somebody something and they will go, no. And I think, because it's we get impressions when we get psychic stuff. We get ideas around an actual message, and those ideas have everything to do with the thoughts that you already have in your head. The psychic information you get is for your brain, and they know your brain because they're inside it with you. So, yes, absolutely, Lily. And I think it's a muscle like anything else. The more you use it, the better it gets and the stronger it gets. 100%, I started out as just a medium. Yeah. But I only went in knowing I can talk to people on the other side. And then as I was doing my readings, one day I was like, who are you people? Who is that? I started getting spirit guides. Didn't ask for them. Boom, there they were. And then it just grew from there. I get spirit guides. I get angels. I get ascended beings. I get so much stuff. Ancestors. Gotta love ancestors. Big feet. Yeah, they do. They seem like big feet. Anyway, but the more I do it, the more I get to see. Because my commitment to the psychic energy is seen by them. So they give me more. Okay, she knew this. So let's give her more. So yeah, it's a muscle. Let's do it. So I smelt smoke or a smell of charcoal, then a sweet flower smell. Interesting. Yeah, I actually have people on the other side who come almost completely with smells. My mother's mother, my nanny, is almost all smell when she comes. And if the best I can actually get is I can smell her, and then it feels like she's hugging me too close. Like I can kind of see the pattern of the shirt she's wearing because she's so close. That's what it's like with her. So it's a similar sort of thing. And sometimes actually the smell, yeah, I see the smell as a part of clairvoyance. But that's my opinion. I know other psychics who see smell as clairsentience because you're sensing it, I guess, or feeling it. But because my time with clairvoyance had everything to do with my sinuses and my nose. So that's why I see it that way. Okay, okay. I hope that helped. Okay. I am wondering about the pain in my lower back. Does it have to do with or have anything to do with the journey I was on? Oh, I love this. I absolutely love this. I was just talking to somebody about the pain on their lower back. The way they show it to me is like the idea of water off a duck's back. If you actually watched water go off a duck's back, it would pool right on their lower back. And I believe it does for us too. I believe that energy kind of slides down our back and it can't go whoop and get off our butts. And I think this is why more women have it. And I know, weird, but I kind of think it because our backs go like this. That's the bum. And naturally they do that. I know I'm a woman from the 80s too. I was born in the 70s, teenager in the 80s. So I've always pulled my butt in to try to be as flat as possible. So bad for your spine. The natural movement of your spine is this. Top, waist, bum bum. It's so things can get caught right here just above your bum. And okie dokie, they want me to say it just above your root chakra, because if it slides down, goes through your root chakra and back into the ground, it's not going to bother you. You're not going to pay any attention to it. Sometimes they will, all times, actually, I shouldn't even say sometimes, they will message us with pain. They will, because what else are you paying attention to? You're not really paying attention to anything else. When things are going well, you don't even notice. It's when things go to poop, that's when you notice. That's actually human nature for some reason. So they will give us messaging through pain. And I myself even have to say, it's just a message, it's just a message, just a message, because pain can be, pain is a feeling we were not expecting to experience. It's not entirely the truth, but to a certain extent, especially when it's coming from messaging from them, it can be like, whoa, or something like that. And it's something that we have got to look at. We've got to pay attention to. And yeah, for you, it most definitely is. It's interesting, actually, though, the remedy that they show for you, they actually show you forward bending. They show you, and yeah, so I get this sometimes too. They'll tell me to forward bend, and as I forward bend, because I'm a yogi, so I can touch my feet when I forward bend, I actually clean off the bottoms of my feet. I let go of where I've been. So you might want to do the same. And if you can't reach your feet, bend your knees, because you do not absolutely, and even your yogi will tell you, you do not absolutely have to have your legs completely straight when doing a forward bend, because then you might actually round your back instead. So if your legs are straight, that's a great idea. Okay, the voices in my head just said, I don't know if you in school you did this, when you bend your knees up into your chest and you hold on to the bottoms of your feet, and then just allow your legs to go open, straighten, allow your legs to straighten, and then you're actually touching your feet, go as far as you can, and then just clean off your feet. They actually say that. They also show you putting your feet in salt water. None of those things are things your doctor would tell you to do for your lower back. They really aren't, but I'm supposed to. And I actually think that your lower back has an awful lot to do with your feet. And if you wanted to go a physical route, that might be the way you'd want to go. So I hope that makes sense. Golly sakes. Okie dokie. Oh, my brother Randy passed on Thursday. It is really difficult. I understand his choice, and I know he's in a better place. Miss him lots. Oh, he misses you too. And it's if he could send you a postcard that said "Wish you were here," he would. But that would be creepy to you, because he could actually figure out a way to send you a credit. You know what? A postcard. And you know what? When you're more at home with it, he's going to figure out a way to send the messages like this to you. I don't know if he was funny, but he sure thinks that "Wish You Were Here" is funny, to a postcard to be sending from the other side. And actually, it's "Wish You Were Here." Ha ha ha! You're not. And are you considered the spiritual person in the family? Was he considered a normal in the family? Because he wants to let you know that now that he's on the other side, he's going to go way and above you. And he's going to tell you what he knows. He's going to learn things and he's going to share them. But you got to know that he learned them first. Sorry, very siblingish. I don't know if your dad is up there with them, with him, or if your dad's still here and we need to give him a little salt. But it looks like your dad's with him. And it looks like your dad's with him. And I'm not sure if he's just trying to show his relationship, or actually if your dad's on the other side too. You know that he's okay. He actually even told you he's okay, he says. And he says, ring them bells. So he may have rung a bell in your ear. He may have put a bell sound in your ear. He may have rung bells around you. But he says, ring them bells. That song, there's a song that they say, ring them bells. I can't remember what it is, but there's a song that they say, ring them bells. But that's what he is saying to me. Does he have kids? Because he says, my kids. That's yeah. Um, yeah. Yes. He says and I think he's actually even going with something that I have said. He says it's really hard. It's really hard to be in the party when everyone is so sad for you. It's really hard to be in the party. Yeah, I know. They're sad for them. Uh, and they project it on you. That's what he just said. I don't know if your brother was sage when he was here, but that was pretty sage to me, in my opinion. And he is trying to get a hold of you. He will keep getting a hold of you, and he's showing you, telling him what to do to get a hold of you because he's your brother. So he might do things like that he thinks are getting a hold of you, but might either bug you or make you nervous or might not even land because he's your brother. He says, "I'm new to this. I bow to you." That's what he says. And there are angel kisses coming at you. Uh, okay, and he just pointed at the miss him lots that you have there. He says there's no need, but he says miss you too. And it's the hugging. It's the physical world sort of connection that he misses, obviously, and he says you do too. But I think he knows that you know that he's there. So yeah, you are connected. Yeah, you know. Okay, okie dokie, Allison. A lot of hard things in my life right now. Any guidance you can provide? Okie dokie. I'm actually watching you get into bed. So it might be, and that doesn't mean give up. It doesn't, it actually might mean that you need to do some self care, some self love. And that self love and self care might be if I'm seeing you get into bed, I believe that they're trying to tell me is to tell you to treat yourself as though you were sick. Because when we are sick, we stop because we have to. Our body makes us, and we do things that we know are going to lead to wellness. So, and there are certain things. Interesting. That's very interesting. Are you confused? Do you kind of feel blocked is a word I get, but I also get like a shield, not a shield, like a gossamer curtain in front of you, almost like you can't quite see things as clearly and things are very confusing. And it might even be too that your confusion and your is being reflected by people around you, like they're coming at you in a way that's like, what the heck, I'm totally confused with what's going. There's something like that. And I actually even wonder if you're seeing things inside of your head or feeling paranoid or feeling like people are yelling at you in some kind of way. Okay, so they first showed you going into bed, but even before they showed that, they showed me meditation. But when they show me meditation, I'm like, okay, mind, whatever. Because if you know me, you know that if I could get the entire world's population to meditate, oh my gosh, that'd be so great. And then I make them do yoga and then I make them hug each other. Oh my gosh, that'd be awesome. Anyway, but that's what I would love to do. But meditation, yeah, I actually think there's almost too much going on right now. That if I sat you down and said sit in silence, you'd be like, not quite gonna happen. I kind of think that it has a little bit more to do with messages, 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 messages. But at the same time, there's the worldly stuff that's going on too. So they want you to give self-care. When I'm sick, drink lemon water like crazy. And it always works. So they're showing you drinking lemon water. So, which may mean actually drink lemon water because why not? It's very good for you. But it also might mean purity, purify. When I drink lemon water, what I'm doing is I am wanting the water and the lemon to zip through my body and grab stuff that ought not be there and pull it out, and out me it comes. So there's something like that, a purging sort of. So also, I'm supposed to tell you to let go of the outcome. Because there might not be an outcome. It might be that what you're going through right now is actually just a transition, not something you're going through that, and then boom, it'll be like it was before. It might be that it will be a little bit more like this is what we're going through, and this is going to be it. So they want you to move in with it. And if it feels like it's yucky and horrible, it might be perspective. rather than it is yucky and horrible. Kind of like the pain messaging, when they throw pain into me, at first, the first maybe year or two, I was like, God hates me. Life is so hard. I feel victimized by my own body. Now I'm like, what? What am I paying attention to? What do people want? That's what I'm like now. And that's how I'm on top of it and I'm in power of it. So it's something like that for you as well. So I hope that helps. Okie dokie. Thank you, Tina. I am getting a lot of hassle about my health lately, telling me I need to do more, such as lose weight, eat better, all the normal things we hear. But I wonder if this is really my guides warning me or just friends, relatives pushing me. I do know I need to do something. I am too late to reverse any damage. Am I too late to reverse any damage? I know this is very vague. Sorry. Not vague at all, Connie. Nope, nope, nope. I totally get it. Honest to goodness, when I read the first couple of lines, and I don't know if this is Peter talking to me or what, but I actually think you're doing well. You're doing very well, and people don't know how to help you because they think they should be helping you. Yeah, I honestly, because honestly, when I'm near you, I get a very similar sort of feeling. I have to shut myself up because a certain person says in my head, no, 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 she doesn't need that because you've been through a big loss, and we all know that you've been through a big loss, so people are a little worried about you. Now, when it comes to lose weight, eat better, things like that, purification, I kind of think you are a psychic and you work as a psychic, and the more you work, the more psychic you're going to be, and the more psychic you're going to be, the more they're going to bring you into their fold, and their fold, for lack of a better term, that's just something I'm just kind of making up right now. Their fold. I know when they started bringing me into it, they started taking things out of my diet. They started taking things out of my life. I would go, but I want that. And they would say, but you don't need that. And see how much clearer you think? See how much clearer your brain is? See how much more you can see? See how much better your body feels? Things like that. So little things like that, because actually a pure diet can help to have pure thoughts. It's true. It's annoying, but it's true. Also, though, too, look at this. I got this right here, right here. Ageless Body, Timeless Mind. You want to come over? You can come over and borrow this book. But within this book, the ideology is what you think about what you put in your body is what will happen when you put it in your body. Kind of like people getting drunk off near beer. It's a placebo effect. So, also, too, you're amazing and I love you. And I know you didn't say, may I please talk to Peter, but Peter wants to talk to you because you do so much for him and you keep his soul and spirit alive. And he even gets bashful. His humility is such a sweet, sweet man. His humility is almost like, oh gosh sakes, I'm on Facebook and people are talking about me. It's not bad in any kind of way. It's just he loves being part of what you do because he always has been part of what you do because he loves you so very, very much. Oh, I wish I was hugging you right now. Okie dokie. Now, yeah. Now, if that doesn't answer it specifically like you would like, you can re-ask in a different kind of way. Ask me a question. Okay. Love you, Connie. All right. Haley. Hi, Bobby. Any advice on anything coming through for my husband's career right now? Okie dokie. They actually show him going bang, 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 bang. I don't know if he's actually a handyman or a framer or he builds houses or if he's fixing it. I think both are true in some sort of way. So he might build things or create things in some sort of way. But he is fixing it. He's talking to people and getting noticed. Odd. Okie dokie. And they show him being able to see the forest for the trees, and he needs to be able to see the forest for the trees. And it's very, very, very interesting that they use that metaphor. And then they show me Macbeth. In Macbeth, the three witches tell Macbeth that the forest is going to come and get him. And he thinks, you people are crazy because the forest can't walk. But an army comes in to get him holding trees or branches. So they look like the forest coming to get him. So they show me that, I think, to show him that it's not always, if someone says blah, 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 it actually is interpretive. And it could be bleep, bleep, bloop. I know. How does that have anything to do with his career? I don't understand. But okie dokie. Okie dokie. It's not always plain to see. Sometimes things get hidden in things. And I think I just keep seeing him talking. So it might be people he's talking to. He might be his best salesman. It might be that his personality is his career and will move his career forward. And the forest for the tree things. It's still there. I don't know. I hope I explained it well enough, because I don't know if my interpretation is correct, because I wouldn't see it again if my interpretation was correct. If my interpretation is correct about what they show me, it goes away and then a new thing comes in. If they bring it back, then there's a hole in my interpretation. So just know that when Macbeth was told that the forest was going to come and get him, he said that can't possibly be true, but it was true. It was just metaphorically speaking. So I hope that makes sense. It's interesting that they use that, to be perfectly honest. Okie dokie, Pamela, wondering if you could please give me an update on my special guy's grieving survivor guilt is moving along. Wonderful. It seems to be much better now, but maybe for my benefit. No, sorry. It's time. Update also on timeline for living in one residence. Location. Okay. I saw a halfway point. A halfway point that starts with K and ends with Alona, but I don't know. But as soon as I say that, I actually see that's difficult for you. I kind of, because that might feel like meeting halfway. Geographically, I think it is meeting halfway. So I don't know if it might be metaphoric in that you guys have to meet halfway, in that your needs, his needs both have to be met 50-50, 50-50, 50-50. I also, I don't know. Okay, but they're showing you doing it. So I'm going to say that it's a possibility. They want you to ask for him to be released by the person that he's grieving. He needs to have a release from that in some kind of way. I can't, that's why I was like, because it would seem that he would need to ask to be released from, to my mind, I believe he actually needs to do a cord cutting, but that cord cutting has more to do with his emotions that are connected to that person rather than his emotions for that person. I think that the societal things that he's allowed himself to get somewhat bogged down with, opinions and things, and they're not just society, they are family as well. I think he's allowed that to stagnate his ability to move forward. But at the same time, I believe, and they are saying it, he's suffered enough. He has suffered enough. And I actually hear that vehemently, like angrily. He has suffered enough, and it's about time he took a piece of cake. And that's actually, I believe, from his brother, to be perfectly honest. I believe wholeheartedly that that is from his brother, but his brother's not alone. He's just the one delivering the message because the other person does not feel wanted in bringing in messages. So time is of the essence, but okie dokie, I believe that you can sit back and eat grapes. And, like you can relax and maybe take this time. That's interesting. I like that. Okie dokie. When I used to be an actor, casting agents used to tell us, if there's anything physical about you that you are unhappy with, fix it before an audition or do something about it before an audition. You don't like your fingernails? Get a manicure before an audition. Things like that. Get your hair done or things like that. This is like that. You're just about to have an audition. So if there's anything you want to tickety-boo, go ahead and tickety-boo it and then relax like the Queen of Sheba, because that's actually how I see you, like the Queen of Sheba having grapes fed to you as you wait for your Marcus Aurelius. Okay, I don't know if this aren't true. Those guys weren't together, Queen of Sheba and Marcus Aurelius. That was Cleopatra. Blah, blah, blah. But anywho, That was the bad history. But uh, please allow yourself to feel as though it's already happening, and it will be. Sorry, but I hope that's yeah. They Let's breathe it into truth because it is true. Because it's merely a technicality. It's already going on. It's already happening. The love is already with you. But I'm sure it's frustrating as heck. Okay, okay. My amazing lady. Well, thank you very much, fellow amazing lady. Can you tell me if a special person was with me the last few days? Of course they were, is the way I'm supposed to say it. I Is it a male? Of course he was. Because yeah, they were with you. They showed you with either music on the radio or there's a in your head. Do you even get it so that it almost feels like somebody just stuck something in your ear a little bit? There's something like that. And tingle up your spine. Tingle up your spine. Also, too, apparently, you might want to say, if this is you, do this for me. And it's just a simple things. And I actually remember once saying to my dad in the passenger seat, my dad has been gone for 36 years now. Is this really you, or do I just wish it was you? And he pretty much said, who are you? For goodness sakes, of course it's me. He did that. So there's something like that with you too. Just ask, because of course it's me. And who are you? You know that. You are aware of it. Sorry. I'm sorry if I sounded like a poopy face when I did that. Hello, Biff. How are you? You answer. Sorry. Lovely to see you too, Carrie. Oh, you're more than welcome, Susan. Absolutely more than welcome. Thank you for the opportunity. Carrie sells crystals. Carrie sells beautiful crystals at wonderful prices and is a very loving and wonderful lady. There is her information. Carrie, please feel free to put your information in the comments for the other wonderful people. Linda, grid lines. We were going to talk about grid lines today. Well done, Linda. Okie dokie. Hello, Pat. Ooh, Pat. If you are in the Alberta area, she is a medicine woman forager. I outed you. I'm sorry. Terrible. Okie dokie. Just wonder if my ex-mother-in-law has anything to say to me. That's so funny. I'm sorry. That's actually what I heard first, which tickled me pink. I actually even think that she's sorry for her son's actions. That there's something to that effect. I'm sorry if you're hearing a vibration, but someone's calling me on my telephone for some reason. That's odd. Okay. It is odd. Okie dokie. You had handcuffs? They've been taken away. That's what she says. She shows balance. I think actually what she's trying to say is she loves you just as much as she loves him. And I'm sorry, she says. I'm kind of wondering if her I'm sorry has to do with even her behavior a little bit, just a little bit, or the family's behavior, because it seems to go beyond a little bit the spousal behavior. Okay. She wants you to be proud, and she shows you pushing out your heart chakra. And I don't know if you are a parent, but it looks like there's a child beside you. I don't know if she's talking about your inner child or actually a child, but she's showing you leading with your heart. She is also sorry it happened this way. There's a lot of I'm sorry's coming out of her, and love. Also too, on the other side, we rest with our DNA. When we marry, we connect our DNA with their DNA and then create a rod that actually connects the two families. She wants you to know that bridge that rod creates is for you. You can cross that bridge. She wants you to know that. I kind of think you had babies with this person. Not even just for that reason, a little bit for that reason though, but it's kind of a similar sentiment to where you get divorced and members of your ex's family come to you and say, you're still family. You might not be married to him anymore, but you're still in. Your grandfather did, like that. Okie dokie. Now, I really hope that helps, Nikki. Linda, I was going to talk about grid lines. I absolutely was, because it is part of the book. And where the heck, there it is. Grid work, number 9. It's like 2 chakras above the crown chakra. And one of the reasons I was going to talk about is because, and I've said this to people, during COVID, I got a lot of amazing and wonderful information, like well beyond my brain's understanding. And one of the things I kept seeing was a grid pattern right in front of me. Like, it drove my eyes crazy, to the point where I said, please stop it, because it's bugging me. And then in late January, I was silly, and I misinterpreted what the pharmacist said, and I took 12 Ativan at once, and I OD'd. And in that time, now thank goodness my husband was here and he took care of me. In that time, I stood on a grid and spoke to beings so large I could not see them, but I knew they were there. So, anybody want to tell me about the grid? Anybody? What do you know about the grid? Because I saw the grid. And I actually, from reading this and her idea about the grid, it has to do with service. It has to do with my service to humankind, which I totally get, because I do believe that I have what I have for you. This is why I do a live feed where you don't have to pay. I can help you out. Hopefully it can help you out, but I do have to eat and stuff. So that's why the readings. But anywho, yeah. Anything, please. Even if you want to private message me, Linda. Okay, thank you. Lynn. Hello. Okay. Stacy. My mother-in-law has passed away in February. Is there anything she's trying to tell us regarding her memorial? Do it upright is actually the first thing I hear. Was she Irish? Okay, no, but okay. It might be this, actually, because in an Irish wake, a traditional Irish wake, the dead body would be right there in the room. They put them in the corner and even put like hats on them and like do things to them and stuff, because they're part of the wake. They would actually have the body there sitting in a chair. Oh, wackadoo, huh? Like, can you imagine now? Anywho, I actually think she wants you to treat it as though she's sitting in the chair and she's watching and she's going to be there. Also, too, your hands, I don't know if your hands have felt like you have a tingling or they're sore or there's something going on. I actually think she's trying to affect your hands. And it's interesting that she would choose you. I think she's choosing you for a certain reason. Like the way that an executor of a will should be a person who isn't directly affected by the death, or can look at the death and go, okay, this is very sad. I love this person, but it's not breaking my world that they've crossed over. And that's not to say that you didn't love her. Of course you loved her and she loved you back, but you might be a little bit divorced from the pain that your partner would be a big into. So she says take over. Ugh, that's tough. How are you supposed to tell people that? Oh, she said through Bobbi I should take over. I'm not going to put you in that line of fire. And yeah, I think she's trying to guide you. She wants to guide you. Please allow her to guide you in certain things that she would want to have happen. You are very much a voice of reason, and your voice needs to be heard. Oh, wonderful. That's such a lovely thing to say to you. Also, too, I miss you too, she says. And you're doing a great job with him. That's what she says. Okie dokie. Just an aside, you might want to wash your feet. And I know that sounds funny, but I actually see the washing of the feet as in like a reset spiritually, like you're letting go of where you've been. Which is kind of funny that she would say that. And I don't know that it's in this context. I think it's actually just something she's noticed. So I hope that helps. Dan, can you tell me any messages from anyone who's on the other side? And if you can tell anything in the future from my youngest daughter and my soon future. Thank you. Okie dokie. Okay. So the other side. Because that's a lot. My assumption is your father. It comes in with the word father. He came in with the word dad first and then put it into father. But considering he went dad and then father, could be your grandfather because he went dad first and then father. But I love you is the message. And fix my picture. I think his picture is tilted. And he may have tilted it himself, but he's pointing towards a picture that's like this. And actually now he's showing me pictures of my dad. I have so many pictures of my dad that have made it to the wall, taken off the wall, made it to the wall, taken off the wall, blah, 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 blah. And it's always the same ones because, he only lived so many years. So I only have so many photographs of him. It's something like that. The future for your youngest daughter, my future's so bright, I gotta wear shades. You know that song from the 80s? Terrible song. But that's what I'm hearing. Future's so bright, I gotta wear shades. Yeah. Anyway, see, I sometimes watch these back and go, oh, Bobbi, stop. Anyway, so, and for my soon future, like what is immediately in front of you, they actually even show it. Like when I do a 3-card spread sometimes for myself, where I am, where I'm going, where I'll be in 3 months. They're showing it where I'm going. This is the middle card, not the where I'll be in 3 months. Where I'm going is how they're putting it. Change of scenery. They actually even show you it like you're trying to get new air into your lungs. Something, yeah, it's really strange. It actually, do you have a family that you might want to go visit? Do you want to go on a road trip possibly? I know it sounds really, really strange, but I used to take my kids to Vernon once a year to go see my mother, and we would always stop at the same grocery store in Chilliwack. And that's where I'm seeing you, in this grocery store in Chilliwack. So it could be that because I loved those road trips. They were just as much a part of the visit to my mom, because just being in the car with my kids was just, yeah, anytime where I could trap my kids with me was just heaven. So this could be that it's a heavenly thing for you to move forward and to go and maybe see new things. And maybe because my kids are such a prevalent part of it, I kind of think that that's the family thing. Because honest to goodness, nothing is better than hanging out with people you love. Absolutely nothing is better than hanging out with people you love. It's just so awesome. Okie dokie. So I really hope that helped, Deanne. Let me know if it didn't. Thank you. The house is very important, and the garden. You gotta have a garden. Yeah, gotta have, medicine, food, things like that. Okie dokie. Haley, today is a very emotional day for my family. We just buried my husband's grandmother with her husband, and my husband is taking it really hard. I just need a message for him and myself, his mom, sister, my children. The message I have, I know this is a very, very, very hard day, but I actually hear it's kind of funny. Thank God it's over. That's actually what I heard. Thank God it's over. My suffering has ended. Now it's like for grandma, it is actually like she is at a constant family reunion and she gets to watch the fruits of her labor and all of her family, because I actually think she was a loving mummy, and a mummy who really, really, really gave a poop about family and her kids. And I honestly think she is honored by all the tears that are fallen, that have fallen and will fall. And she's really happy now. Not in her right mind. I don't know if she didn't have dementia or she just wasn't. I hear not in her right mind. So I'm not entirely sure what that means, but I know that she is in her right mind and she is with the right man now. Not sure what that means either, but she's with the right man now. I actually even see her in somebody's arms and right up against the chest. Like she is, when you're hugging someone, you can actually hear their heartbeat. If you're short, maybe you hear their heartbeat in your ear because they're hugging you. When I hug my husband, I can get right, like I'm kind of right into his chest because of my height. So it's something like that. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Did she do crafts or knit or something like that? She actually I don't know if each and every one of you received something she made or something, because she's showing me things people make and everyone putting them together so everyone can see the thing that she made for you. There's something like that. I don't, she's showing me knitting. I don't know if it's actually knitting or crochet or something, or if that's just a stereotypical grandma-y, mother-y sort of female thing. I don't know many men who knit, not that it's only for women. But the other thing they're showing me is a person I know who, I don't have it right here, but I use it a lot in my videos and things, is Namaste I have. That was made for me by a very, very special man. And when he crossed over, I had to send a video and a picture of me with with it when everybody else did as well, who sent their words that he made them. So it's something like that that she wants, and she thinks it's funny. And all I can see is like, I can't just say all I can see is her laughing, because then she feels like I am saying she's laughing at you. But she is happy, and she sounds like emotional blackmail, and I don't think she means it that way, obviously. She won't be completely happy until you guys are too. So yeah, you gotta be okay with her rest. She also tells me it's an expected death. And that's what I call them, expected deaths. There's unexpected deaths or expected deaths. And this one was an expected. And she thinks it was, and it's so funny because she said, thank God for it. But I actually call it all the powers that be. And she said, thank the powers that be. She actually said that in my head. So well done, Grandma. Like, that's wow. Okie dokie. So I really, really hope that helps, Haley. Yeah. And it's a transition, not a death. She is just no longer in the physical form. She's right there. She can hear everything you're saying about her. She wants you guys to know that too. I think that's kind of funny. Was she funny? She sounds funny. She seems funny. I even I didn't even deliver the way that she really wanted me to deliver, because I was trying to keep your husband and his family's feelings in account, actually. But she was being pretty funny, actually, the way she was saying it. So I think she's really, really, I think she's good. I think she's super good. Okie dokie. Okay, thyroid with lumps. Yeah, okie dokie. Yeah, thyroid with lumps. Fully believe so many women of a certain age, my mother is one of them, that have thyroid conditions. I 100% believe is because those women were taught to not be honest, to make sure everybody else was happy. Don't say your real feelings, you'll upset people. Suck it up, buttercup. Honestly, smile. That kind of stuff causes thyroid lumps, in my opinion. I was pregnant with my son through IVF with another woman's egg. Is the other woman spiritually linked to him because of this? And does that also mean I don't have that spiritual link to him when my time is up on earth? What a great question, Julie. Such a great question. I do talk about this in that DNA video I did, because I have a very good, wonderful friend who is adopted, and her adoptive mother, when we visit, talks in my head. So no, you actually, yeah, okie dokie. So, couple things actually to do with it. So, the first one is the other woman and that DNA that is actually attached to your son. Yes, that is a totally different DNA than your DNA, but it influxes and infuses into your DNA and then creates a new, not a new DNA, but a fresh soil for the DNA. It's kind of like with my garden here, I actually buy dirt to put on top of the dirt, because the fresh dirt has nutrients again that the old dirt had already used up. Kind of like with our DNA, they will actually bring in an adopted child into the DNA to infuse a new life of DNA. It's just like with the royal families, how they, would suddenly pull in another person to father a child, so that there was a new infusing of DNA into the royal family, because it gets all blackety blookety black when the same DNA is constantly doing the same thing. He is your son. Period. And stop. He has just added a tiny new infusement of DNA into the family circle. And your father says so. No, your father actually has your throne. His throne does not have a third throne right now. Right now, it does not, actually. But he has those two, and you are his family, and you will rest with him. And he does that, because that is true. So no, this is your baby. And when you get over to the other side, you will see, I actually even see it like a flower. Like your son's DNA coming into the family creates this other beautiful, new, wonderful growth within the family DNA that will just keep on reverberating and refreshing your family. Because I kind of think he might come from ancient stock as well. So no, it's a good thing. That's your baby. That's absolutely your baby. You know that when he looks at you. Okie dokie. Is he going to overcome and deal with the negative energy in this town to be able to temporarily be able to stay here? Yeah. See, that's the thing. I kind of saw a little bit north of your town, a little bit somewhere halfway between mine and yours, actually. And we know what town that is. It starts with a Qu. It's a great town. I would live there in a heartbeat, in an absolute heartbeat. I would move to that town. Love that town. Love the energy of it. Just love it. So, yeah, it might be that town because they actually meet me halfway. Meet me halfway. I hope that works. I hope, yeah. Milkite and green aventurine are good for then throat, here, absolutely chakras as well. For the throat and ear chakras. Is that what you mean? Malachite and green aventurine. Thank you very much, Carrie. Carrie knows her crystals. She really, really does. If you go to Carrie's Crystal Palace, she will tell you what they mean. She will tell you what they're for. She will also be able to guide you towards the crystals that are right for you. Yep, I can send my husband there and he comes home with treasures. So, yeah. Thank you, Deidre. Okay. Hello, Bobbi. How are you? I'm wonderful. How are you? You are away in Cancun. Oh, my envy meter just hit my roof. I hope you are having the most wonderful time in Cancun. How awesome for you. Grant says congratulations. She says congratulations are in order. And like, yay! I actually think an achievement has come. I also, I kind of wonder, interesting. Huh. Yeah, okie dokie. So, and there's something about the indigenous people of Cancun. It's kind of interesting, isn't it? A way of putting it. But yeah, there's something about the indigenous people in Cancun or the indigenous culture there because you're an ambassador, my sweet friend, an absolute ambassador. And everywhere you go, that's what they want you to look at. Because if I was in another country right now, I'd be looking at where their spiritual spots were. I would be. Actually, or where their dead are. I'd just be guided. Anyway, so it's the same with you. So yeah, exactly. Have fun on the beach and have a good time and rest and relax, but also remember who you are. I'm supposed to say that from Gran, actually. And everything's going to be fine back here. She's taking care of things back here in waiting for you. There's a congratulations. So I think it even has more to do with than you being on vacation. But there's a congratulations. You might even come home to something that's awesome. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. I wonder if there's anything coming through about my partner's health. Well, I immediately see his heart chakra, which may or may not be the problem, but they actually show him doing this. This is something that people on the other side do when they have past of heart related things, but it is also people do when their heart is broken or when they're hurting in some kind of way. That's interesting. Now, I do not want to open an incorrect can of worms with you and your husband, but they tell me there's something he's not telling you. I think it's more like when people who wonder if they have dementia don't tell people they keep forgetting stuff. It's something like that. It might be a symptom of something that he doesn't want to look at in that kind of way. Because immediately when I see the heart, I immediately see the thing that goes directly to the bottom there. You know what I mean? So there's something, it doesn't have to mean that it's affecting that part of him, but it could mean that there's something to do with his masculinity that is keeping him from, because men are not taught to wonder about themselves in the same way we are. They really aren't. They're robbed of that, and it really sucks. And that's why so often men pass of things that could have been cured because they don't pay attention like we do. And that hopefully will start to change a little bit. I kind of think it's something we condition men into. Be tough, blah, 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 all that kind of silliness. So we don't do that to our females like we do to our men. So there's something like that. Like there's something, if he can't talk to you, he needs to talk to somebody else. But I think he actually does need to talk to somebody because I think it's something simple that could grow if he doesn't actually move into it. And I think he's exhausted or tired or something like that. It almost looks like an autoimmune. I don't usually see autoimmune in men. And autoimmune to me is psychic disorders. It means that you're not answering the calls that you're getting, in my opinion. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps rather than causes any kind of worry. You're very welcome, Deidre. I hate the internet in our hair. Tried since the beginning to reconnect. I'm missing everything. You aren't missing anything. I don't think. I don't know. As well, what can I do with help with my eldest daughter? With your eldest daughter, they actually show you on a path standing in front of her and going like this, which it might be that your eldest daughter, your oldest daughter, needs to get on the same page as you. She needs to meet you where you are, because they kind of show it as you are living the example that you want her to be, and they want you to bring her towards you. That's what they are doing for that one. Okie dokie. Yes, absolutely, Nancy. Yeah, you can't, yeah, which is kind of funny because it's very, very similar to what Deanne was just shown, that do this instead. Sometimes with people, when you just see people constantly doing things that are just not right for them, you gotta have to let them do it, and you do what you know is right for you, and then they'll watch you and go, oh, live like them for a second or two. Yeah, because also too, worrying about what people are doing with themselves will actually add to what they're doing, because you're looking at that energy and you're worrying about that energy and you're creating more of that energy. Yeah, true. But no, yeah. Okie dokie. Okay. Woof. Okie dokie. So we are at an hour and 15 minutes, and I usually only do an hour and a half when I do this. So I'm going to try to go through and try to just answer folks that I haven't answered yet. I'm so sorry. I'm going to say hello to a few people as well. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Shannon. Hello, Carmen. Hello, Haley. We've talked. Hello, Chantal. I can give you a hello anyway. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Caitlin. Oh, I'm so glad, Julie. We have already talked about Carrie. Hello, Doreen. And hello, Tracy. And hello, Lisa. Okie dokie. All right. So after Lisa Break, what a perfect name. Break, stop. Yeah, Lisa. Awesome. Okie dokie. So I'm going to stop at Lisa, just so everyone knows. And okie dokie. Okie dokie. So let's start up here. We are told our grid lines. I've been told I live on grid lines. How interesting. Well, I believe I know where you live. I think I know where you live. I think you live in one of the very, very spiritually spots. Okie dokie. Okay, where was I? I am lost as to where I was. Oh, Britt, I didn't even see you there. Oh, okie dokie. Okay. Okay, I'm going to try to get to absolutely everybody. Hello, Yogi Berra. I love that name. It's such a cool name. Okie dokie. Okay, here I am. I'm at Jules, and I'm going to try to give everyone quick. Okie dokie. So I was wondering, does my brother have any messages for me? I heard right away, yes, of course he does. There, he's showing me mail. Sometimes actually they'll show me this is a message through mail, but maybe he is actually talking about mail, like postal services. I'm not quite sure. It might mean something more to you than it makes sense to me. Your brother, I believe his spirit animal is bear. Is that your family animal? It very well might be. He's just become a bear for me. Now I'm getting really warm. Okie dokie. Your brother is completely and absolutely personifying himself as a bear, and he's showing himself like he's kind of like Yogi Bear, which is kind of hilarious because Yogi Bear is here, but that's more of the coach. I know, I believe maybe they're about the cartoon character, but I'm pretty sure it's the coach. Anyway, he's showing himself because Yogi Bear used to steal the picnic baskets. So he's standing at a picnic table and he's eating. I think what he's trying to tell you is that he's living his best life on the other side. And that he loves you. And I don't know, did your son get a tattoo that means something of your, or his son? There's something about, I'm seeing a boy getting a tattoo that is a bear and it means him in some sort of way. And I'm not quite sure what the heck that is. But I'm giving kisses to you because I'm supposed to give kisses to you. And it's, I'm fine. How about yourself? That's like, if you were to say, hi, how are you? He'd say, I'm fine. How about yourself? Like that. And Congratulations to him. Uh, yeah, there's something about your son. He's meeting something. Something's happening. I don't know if he's graduating, if he's hit a certain kind of a milestone in his life. There's something, but he wants to mark it to know that, to let you know that he's watching you. So I hope that makes sense. Okie dokie. Now, thank you, DJ. Thank you, DJ. Mariana? That is the neatest spelling of Mariana. Do I have that correct? I'm actually going by the spelling of marijuana. Today it's Mariana. So, sorry. Okie dokie. Messages from my dad. One of the first things I saw was those. Oh, I even sound like it. So it might be that you actually hear a sound similar to the rattling of the, what are they? I don't know what they, somebody help me. You know, like when you have like beads in a bowl and they make that sound. Anywho, I don't know if it has to do with music and he's trying to tell you music, or if he was musical, but there's something that he's trying to make sounds to let you know that he's around. He also may have actually made a kiss noise in your ear. That is very distinct, but is what I just heard right here. It wasn't like when people do it and it nearly deafens you. It was more because that would be a lot for him to put it directly in your ear. That's a big thing. And I think I've mentioned it before. People on the other side don't tend to use anything but your own voice. If they throw their own voice, that's humongous. That's a lot of work for them. And only the most ascended of my loved ones, one, has ever been able to do it. And you throw a different voice in my ear and scared the devil out of me both times. But he does this. Did he speak a different language than I speak? Usually, even when someone speaks a different language than I can speak, I can almost hear the accent, but it comes to me in English. But he is more action than word. He is more action than word. And that might be by design so that I can say to you, he's more action than word, because I'm hearing sounds more from him and ideas and feelings more from him than I'm actually hearing words coming out of his mouth. That might be so that you know it's him in some way. I don't know, because obviously I didn't know him. But okie dokie. Okay. As soon as I say that, I hear words. You're doing a good job. I think you're doubting yourself, or stop doubting you. There's something like that. I actually wonder if you used to go to your dad for advice, and that he would be your go-to, like when things were going wrong in your life, because he's showing me that person for me, and that person for me passed away 2 years ago. So I think you might be feeling that great loss. For myself, I still go to that person. It's just that the advice I get now is interpretive, and I have to interpret it. And he might be doing stuff with a radio in your car, because I am seeing that. I actually think your dad's trying to communicate with you in a lot of very, I'm going to say it, generic ways. His words, generic ways, but I can get behind that idea, because the generic ways are birds, coins, radio, all those sorts of things. Like across the board, a lot of different people from the other side will communicate to you in that kind of way. One, because we listen. Two, because it's just easier for them to do it. I don't know why the birds get sacrificed so much, but there's something like that. And he wants you to know. It might also be new, because he just said new. You're not a slow learner. He just called himself a slow learner, because now all of a sudden I'm getting more and more. Like I'm seeing a woman who I'm assuming is either your mother or his wife. I don't know if they're the same person. But he's showing me things that he's left behind. He also, okie dokie. It's like he's on vacation. It's like he's on vacation and he's meeting someone by the pool and he's explaining his life to them. That's what it's like for him to talk to me. That's the way he's showing it. That at first he's just slowly moving into it. And then as he gets more excited, he's telling me more stuff. So he also wants you to give him time, because he's showing my dad's been over there 36 years, and boy, can he communicate like a champion. But my dad went over there with no spirituality, so it's taking him this long. So your dad wants me to point at my dad. And I think also too, it's the closeness. I feel so close to my dad, even though he passed away when I was 16 years old. I still feel completely and absolutely connected to him. That's never, ever ended. So I think your dad is trying to show that that can be something that you and he can enjoy. Okie dokie. I hope that makes sense. Okie dokie. Now, Haley, I'll go back because we already talked about your father, and I'm sorry. I don't hope that's okay, but I will. Yes. Okay. Yogi Berra. Okie dokie. Okay. Bobbi, any messages for things with the angry neighbor and angry businessman? Okie dokie. That's interesting. Okay. Huh. Now, okay. I'm not going to, I actually hear you attract what you begat. That's the first thing I heard, but I don't think you're being angry. But could they be reflecting something to you that you need to know or hear? And could it be being done in anger to raise the vibration of it, not to raise the vibration of it, because raising the vibration would be less anger. So raise the stakes of it in some sort of way so you'll pay even more attention. It could very well be that. Okay, first with the neighbor, I hear kill him with kindness. And that means with kill them with kindness, it means that when they say something mean, you say something nice. When they say something mean, you say something nice. You do not let them get to you. They can say, have a crappy day. And you say, you have a nice day too. And then they will say, I said have a crappy day. You say, yes, have a nice day. Lovely. Anyway, bye. Yeah. That's what they want you to do. Don't even allow them to get anywhere near or around you. Just give them back what you would like to get from them. And when it comes to the businessman, okay, yeah. I saw that at first, and then I kind of thought, oh, I don't know if that makes sense, but they showed you walking away from the businessman or avoiding the business person. And then I hear the song, I think it's from the 60s, Walk On By. That song, I don't know any more of that song, to be perfectly honest with you. Maybe it's the 70s, Walk On By. Yeah, that's what they show. So when there are plenty of fish in the sea is the other thing I'm supposed to say. So with the business person, the businessman, I actually think avoidance is your best bet because honestly, both of your reactions, one killing them with kindness and one with avoidance, drives those two crazy because I actually think they're enjoying getting to you or you are in some way giving them something by allowing them to get to you. Does that make you mad at me? I think he's supposed to be. So I hope that makes sense. But they want you to kill them with kindness and bug them with avoidance because you're above all of that. Yeah, you're better than that. And you don't need that for you. Okie dokie. Now, okay. Hope that makes sense. Okay, Tina, any messages for me? I actually see you making out with a mirror. So, and I have told people to do that before. I've actually, even in my brain, seen people wrapping their leg around a full length mirror and having it out with it a little bit. So that's kind of what I see with you. I actually think you need to love yourself. I also kind of think, you know, how when we have little kids and they draw us pictures, and even if the picture is just terrible, we go, oh my God, that's amazing. Your potato people look great. Because potato people are my son used to make. They want you to do that for you. They make it look like you have, I don't know if you have artwork or something you create. It's always shown to me in paintings. Creativity is always shown in paintings. So I see this painting and you look at it and you go, well done. You've done a really good job. Boy, are you talented. That's how you speak to yourself. That's what they want you to do. Because when you speak to yourself like that, you actually will raise the vibration. And then when you've spoken to yourself like that, other people will start to as well. It's kind of like when you have a zit and all you can think about the fact that you have a zit and then everyone points it out to you because you pointed out to them with your energy. So it's a similar sort of thing. So it's a self-love journey thing, Tina, which I'm surprised. Okie dokie. This is very, thank you, Catherine. This is a very distinct, will my house be sold soon? I first heard, what is soon to you? Because soon is a matter of time and there is no time. Will my house be sold in a timely manner? Boy, I'm sorry. That must have bugged you. It would bug me if someone restated my question, like my question wasn't stated properly. I apologize. So, will my house be sold soon? They say, yes, of course it will. It will be sold regardless of anything. It could be sold in 10 years. It could be sold in 10 days. It could be sold in 10 minutes. They show you seeing a sold sign on your house and pulling it closer to you. I know that my house is going to be sold in no time. I that's good. I know I am, yeah, okie dokie. Do you know where you're going to move to? They actually want you to start to see yourself living in that other place of where you're going to move to. They want you to start your morning being so grateful that your house is sold, being so grateful for the fact that you need to pack. And actually, are you ready? Are you completely ready? Because selling and moving out of a house is a whole ball game and situation. And they're talking about energy. I know with my house and my, especially, I have obviously certain places where I do this sort of my business. And I have one place that's my witch's kitchen where I do spells, make candles, and things like that. Man, I had to change all the energy in there. I take everything out, wipe everything down. I have to do it once a year, absolutely once a year. And I think if I was going to sell my house, I would actually probably have to somewhat box it up and pull the energy in a little bit. So there's something about energy, about changing energy. I honestly believe, I know real estate agents, one of the first things they'll tell you is to paint your house when you're going to sell it. I get told to tell people to wash their walls or paint their walls when they've had a haunting and they need to put in new energy. So energy, please put in some new energy or change some energy. It can be as simple as just wiping down the upper cupboards. That's actually what they're showing me. They're showing you wiping down the top cupboards of everything, which might actually make it seem, it doesn't look like anything to anybody, but might change the energy in the rooms. Okie dokie. I hope that helps, Kimberly. Thank you. Catherine, message, please. Okie dokie. Now, okay, so the first thing I see is a little bit confusing. I'm not quite sure. It looks like as a yoga teacher, I stand behind people's hips and pelvis quite often and will realign them. I'll put my hands on either side of people's hips, and that realigns their spine and makes and helps them to do the poses better. That is what I am seeing. I am seeing someone move your hips. Now, it could mean the yoga, but it also could mean that someone is behind you. Yeah, and almost the same sentiment, isn't it? It is almost the same sentiment in that idea that when I stand behind somebody as a yoga teacher and adjust their hips to their proper alignment, I am helping the flow of energy move through their body in a better way. When a person is behind you in something, even if it is a spirit guide or someone on the other side being behind you, they are adding their energy and helping to move your energy in a better way. So I think I'm supposed to tell you you're not alone. I think I am supposed to tell you that someone is behind you and rooting for you and wants you to live your best life. Boy, does that sound cliche. I am sorry. But these things pop out of my face without my forefront knowledge, or yeah. So I apologize, but yeah. And I kind of wonder about your spine a little bit, which makes sense too with the alignment thing, because our physical bodies will show us what our mind isn't noticing. So you might actually be somewhat out of alignment as well. So yeah. If that makes sense to you, then that, if the alignment thing makes sense to you, I actually might steer you towards finding a yogi, like a yogi, someone who has spent years with Kundalini energy, yogas, and spines, maybe even a chiropractor. Yeah, strange. Okie dokie. I hope that helps, Catherine. You are very welcome, Verna. You are very welcome, Jane. I love you too, Connie. DJ. Thank you. Thank you, Haley. Pat. Pat doesn't know if I read her or not. Pat's an easy peasy lemon squeezy for me. I did not see your question, Pat. I did not see what your question would be, but I have to tell you. Okay. Warren is here. And he's quite often here during my live feeds. I even talk about him outside of my live feeds. And if he can visit me so quickly and easily like this, imagine what he can do for you. And and what he wants you to do. I don't know if you've gone on the vacation that he wants you to go on, but I think he wants you to go on a vacation. I actually think he wants you to treat every day like it is a vacation. And we live in a vacation spot. We live almost in a resort town. We do live in a resort town, actually. He is showing you walking into our woods. It's where the bears live. He's showing you walking in there. At the same time, that those woods are life itself. Those woods are kind of like God's church. Those woods hold so many beautiful things for us. There's a little bit of that. I kind of think that he wants you to move even further into our world a little bit, and for yourself as much as for communication with him. I believe he is showing that you might feel a void, and I think that part of that void is him not actually being on this plane so that you can actually talk directly to him. But he wants you to think of this like my father. I love my father. But if my father had lived, it would have made it very difficult for me to do this for a living. It absolutely would have. And the relationship I have with him now is based on the fact that he is enlightened and in a higher place and on a higher plane. And so the more I move into what I can do, the more I can speak with him. And you picking up what I'm laying down here? That's what he wanted me to say. I believe that the man that is your son on the other side now that speaks to me all the time is maybe a much more evolved and more enlightened version of the boy that you knew, and that he wants you to know him in this way because your relationship with him has never ever ever ended and never will. Nobody in your family has ended their relationship with him because he won't let that happen. And that he loves you. And I totally see something about his dad in there. Rattle, rattle, rattle. I think that's a little bit it. I wish, and he does wish too, that, yeah, I don't know if he's admitting to it yet or if he's paying as much attention yet, but yeah, May 2025. Thank you very much, Pat. And if that was different than what you wanted to hear, well, first off, you know where I am. Second off, let me know. Okay. All right. Yeah, and you didn't miss. Yeah. Daughter's wedding, May 2025. I hear good idea, bad idea, good idea, bad idea, good idea, good idea. She get married at your land? Is she the first one? Yeah, you might actually also, when I picked my wedding date, my uncle and aunt were working with I Ching and numerology. Well, they always have been. And I gave them the numbers. And you might want to look at the numbers because depending on the day, it's 0525, it's 052525, 051525, 051525. 051525. Okie dokie. And which those are neat numbers. I don't know if they add up to exactly what your daughter will want for her marriage, but numbers mean a lot, guys. A lot, a lot, a lot. Dates don't mean anywhere near as much as numbers do, because dates are a time thing and a human thing. Numbers are they're a constant. They are, I believe they are the first language. And it's a language I do not speak. Okie dokie. Christine, I hope that helps, Sharon. I'd like to know if my Cassie and Casper are with me. And Ziggy, are they watching over him? I feel them many times, but it is just wishful thinking. In a few days, a Poppy will join the family, a friend for Ziggy. Are they good with that and watch over her? Let them know that they are always in my thoughts and heart daily. I have not forgotten the love they gave me. Yes. Yeah. They are there when you feel them. I am supposed to say that they're hovering. And I actually think they picked the friend. I think they picked the Poppy. Pick a Poppy. Yeah, I do believe they picked the Poppy. And a very similar energy. Like if Cassie and Casper were still with us, Ziggy and Poppy would be like, they would all be getting along and completely and absolutely communicating without you until food time. Then, yeah. And there might be a third. There might be a fifth animal, and because I see 5. I don't know if you already have the 5th or we need to make room for a 5th animal. But yeah, there's a 5th. Sorry, that was very definitive. But yeah, I am seeing it as there's a 5th. Okie dokie. Nice to see you again. Chantel, how are you? Nice to see you again. So funny how I say that right back, huh? Because I can't see you. Nice to see for you again. Oh, you like that? I like that. That was good. Okay, on reconciliation. Okie dokie. It's only a matter of time now, is actually what I hear. And it's a good idea. Well, you know that. We know that it's a good idea. That's strange. They're showing you putting up I think this is putting up a flag. Usually, actually, this means showing the ropes. Showing the ropes is what I see that people on the other side that have been there longer teach new people. They actually will show this, showing you the ropes, because it's a theater term. It's because the ropes are how we open and close the curtains and do the flies and things, the special effects and stuff like that in theater. So, yeah, I see showing the ropes. So it could even be showing the ropes means that this person, the reconciliation, now the other party within a reconciliation might be learning right now, might be figuring out how to get to where they need to go. And I hope that makes sense. Also, too, I'm supposed there's something going on with your crown chakra. You might be, I don't know if you're getting extreme headaches or getting extreme information or something. They want you to move into it a little bit and possibly get more rest right now, please. And there's something with your feet as this is going on. You might want to do some extra special grounding work with your feet. And yeah, they keep showing me, I have these amazing Alice in Wonderland figurines, well, stone that my husband got me at Carrie's place, and that's what I'm seeing with you with grounding. I will hold them with grounding because they have come to personify my spirit guides. Yeah, they have. Okie dokie. So I hope that helps, Chantel. Okay, going through a big transition right now. Anything you can hear from me? Sending big love. Oh, I'm loving you right back. Okay, so I'm seeing you as pregnant. And when I see a woman as pregnant, it actually usually means she has a big idea. It very seldom means that a baby's going to come. But do your work now. That's actually what I'm hearing as well. Are you expanding what you do or changing what you do? Is that part of your transition? It looks like you're branching out, that sort of idea. Okie dokie. So they want you to keep your head about you. And I don't know if you're getting advice from family members, but they want you to take it with a grain of salt. But there are certain people that you will take the advice from. Some people, I kind of think it's your father who's actually giving you good advice. And I think your mother's giving you advice too, and all the love to your mother. It's not that she's not giving you the right advice. It might be that your father's advice is the advice you want to go with because yeah, because your mother's, oh my God, I'm going to sound so sexist if I say that. Your mother's advice might be emotionally based. You know what? I don't mind that because you know what? There's nothing wrong with being emotional. Nothing wrong with it because emotions are expressions. They are a beautiful thing and we need emotions. So yeah, okay, fine. Your mother's advice might be a little more emotionally based and your father's advice might actually be experience based. Yeah. So, and if it's not your mother and your father, it's the male advice and the female advice. You know better who is actually talking at you. Also, too, yeah, again, I'm looking at the bottoms of your feet and they're actually showing you picking things off of the bottoms of your feet, which reminds me so much of taking barnacles off the bottom of a boat. I don't know if that is related in some sort of way, but I actually think they're showing you taking things off your feet. And it looks like you got like moss growing on your feet. So you may have been stagnated in the same place for an awfully long time. They're showing you pulling that off as lesson learned. Thank you. Now I'm going forward this way. Because if you don't take it off, it's more of the same. So I hope that makes sense. Super metaphoric, but hopefully the metaphors make sense to you. Okie dokie. We've talked to you, Kita. Thank you. And Carrie. And Carrie has put her business on there. So if anyone is interested in crystals, and if you're not, are you kidding? So Carrie has put her her Instagram handle. What is it? Your Instagram profile on there. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Wonderful. I believe I was given permission. Awesome. Wonderful. Okie dokie. Now, Polly is wanting to come through. Any info? Okay, I had to get Polly want a cracker out of my head because that was immediately what I heard. And I don't know. Yeah, nourishment, actually. That's neat. Oh, mosquito. That Polly wants to be fed in some sort of way. Okay, yeah. How do I feed my spirit guides? That's kind of funny. How do I feed spiritual people? How do I feed spirit? I do things for them in some kind of way. Huh. Okie dokie. I am just being told what to say. To be perfectly honest, absolutely being told what to say. Uh, I love you. I care for you. I need you to listen to me. That's actually what I'm supposed to say. Um, Okie dokie. You also, Lori, might want to pivot. She shows you going down one road and then you stop and you take a second and ever so slightly go over to a 45-degree angle to the right, to the left. That's the left. This is the left, 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 Bobbi. And then she shows you keeping going. So the destination is the same, but the way to get there is different. Gosh, I hope that makes sense. It's like reading in the dark. Carrie's crystals had difficulties. Okay, yeah, Carrie's crystals on Instagram. Interesting. Okay, Shannon, my grandmother Sue passed away. Does she have a message for me? Honestly, the first thing I heard is it's not mine. I actually heard that. So I don't know what the heck that means, but that was like the first thing I was supposed to plop out at you. Also, okie dokie. Okie dokie. All right. She's showing it like she like when okay, yeah, okay, yeah. When I leave my daughter's house at you, Vic, and I drive back up to Courtney and I text her and I say, got here home safe, all good, blah, blah, blah. Thank you. Things like that. That's what you're getting. You're getting a home safe. And oh my God, there was a welcome home party for her. A finally party. Not bon voyage, but bon appetit. Uh, yeah, you know the song All My Rowdy Friends Are Coming Over Tonight? You may or may not know this. Was that Travis Tritt or was that the other guy with the hat? They are cowboys. They all wear hats. All my rowdy friends are coming over tonight. People used to sing it when I worked in a karaoke bar, and that was in the 90s. So I think it might be early 90s or a late 80s country song, but she's singing it in my head. I actually think grandma's and she's dancing. She just lifted up her skirt and showed her. She didn't lift up her skirt. She just pulled her skirt up and showed me her feet dancing, which might have something to do with a lack of mobility when she was here, or maybe even foot pain when she was here. But she wants you to know, I'm dancing on my grave. That's what she just said. I'm dancing on my grave because I will never die, and neither will you. She actually wants you to think she's a vampire, but not really actually think she's a vampire. Like she's not going to die. And okay, I will visit you again soon, she says. She says, be ready for me. And by that, I kind of think be ready for her. Excuse me. Because I think she wants to visit you and letting you know she's there. And sometimes when they let us know they're there, we either go into a massive fit of mourning or get full emotion because we know they're there without actually knowing that they're there. Or she might make a big noise that might make you think, oh, something else is wrong. So she wants you to be ready for communication from her because she wants to come into your house. Because I think it's easy for her to come into her house. And these salt lamps do not deter her. She is not evil. I don't know why I had to say that either. Okay, thank you. Carmen. Any messages from my dad? Thanks to all you do. Thank you very much, Carmen. Okie dokie. Your dad is like petting you. He says it's soothing. Sorry, I said petting. He said I'm soothing. He's soothing you. I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here. I kind of wonder if you hear him. or if he's trying to reiterate something that you already feel and he wants me to make it a reality for you. He also, that's interesting. Are you wanting to do something? Are you kind of you trying to get yourself organized to go into a new form in your life, or maybe even achieve a goal of some kind? I wonder about this because I can't, who knows, maybe your dad actually made spirit boards and vision boards and knew about doing stuff like that. That's actually what I'm seeing him doing, telling you to do. He got get your thoughts in order, is what he says. I kind of think you got, and he wants you to put them in order to actually accomplish your goal. Okay, it's not about accomplishing a goal; it's about building a better life. That's what he said to me. Um, and you deserve the best life for you. I love you so very much. Uh, he just said, "Listen to me, and all your troubles will be through." Maybe. You never know, because actually he has an overview, a very, very strong overview. And the lovely thing about having someone you love with loved ones, it's so different because the trust is so different. And they kind of, even though spirit guides have been with you since before you were born and they know you so well and they know how to talk to you, their whole moo is all very metaphoric. The way that they give things to you and see things for you has so much more to do with the greater good for you. So you kind of have to figure it out. When it comes to loved ones, they can go, "Oh, you love Billy Joel songs. Blah, let me play this one for you because that'll tell you what's going on with you." Yeah, when yeah, so very often when I do my playlist for the day and I say before I get in the shower, what do I need to know today? And I hit shuffle on my playlist, they'll songs will come on. I'll be like, "Oh my gosh, this is totally dad." Because dad's doing this, blah, 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 blah. And then I know I can really, 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 really trust that. I do trust my spirit guides. Obviously, they work with me, but my dad. So allow your dad to give you some of these advices because he knows you and he knows what you want to do. And he knows this first world thing that you need to do because he was just here. So I hope that makes sense. Hello, Sarah. Have the choices I made so far in terms of work been the right path? So far, so good. That's what I hear, because actually, the work you do is your art, honestly. And the world just needs to catch up to your form. That's what I hear. And I'm not blowing smoke up your fanny because I am such a big fan of your artwork. I am such a big fan of your artwork. Sarah is Slack Art on Facebook. SLAC. Slack Art on Facebook. Amazing art. Beautiful stuff. And they want you to keep going, keep doing that along with what you're doing. I honestly think your career paths and those sorts of choices, it's work right now. That's your work. You're doing some work, but your art is, yeah, it's an expression of you. Okie dokie. You made the right choice, but a little tweaking might be needed in there. And then tweaking in the way of if you have made the choice to go work at a certain place, but there's a couple of things that aren't quite jiving with you, they want you to not pay attention to those things that aren't jiving with you. Pay attention to the things that are actually making you happy about working there, because that will capitalize on those things. That's what they say. And it could be that you have a couple coworkers you're not really great with working with, but there's a couple you really like working with. They want you to concentrate more on the ones you like working with, because that'll bring them more and more and more into the same shifts as you. That's just an example. It doesn't mean that that's the way it's going. I hope that makes sense. I say I hope that makes sense behind all of them, don't I? Oh, she knitted a ton and she had a tote of baby blankets. She gave them both to my girl. Awesome, Haley. That's so awesome. He's passed on. Mother comes to me and says he's changed and I should be kind and hear him out. Honestly, I'm supposed to say she's his mother. But yeah, it could be true. It could very well be true. Yeah, very, very, very well be true. Hello, Lisa B. My mom passed in November, and my dad and brother 2-ish years ago. My goodness, hey, any messages from them? Okie dokie. When the family comes in, for some reason, I actually always hear, "Hail, hail, the gang's all here." They will let me know that everybody has shown up to say hello to you. They're all watching over you. And it's interesting. They all seem to take different roles for you. Your dad tries to be guidance, your brother tries to be temptation, and your mother is getting her bearings. She's finding her feet. And she doesn't want to mess around with you. She just wants to love you from afar, is how she puts it. Are you wearing things of theirs? And I don't know if you're even wearing things of theirs right now, because are you the keeper of the stuff? Do you have all this stuff? They're showing me a lot of stuff, like not a lot of stuff. Your dad is showing, I have my dad's football jacket. Your mother is showing me jewelry, and your brother, it looks like just childhood things. I don't, they kind of make, do you feel burdened? Because they don't want you to feel burdened in any kind of way. Okay. Your story of loss might also be very helpful to other people. Because I think that the way in which you have lost your loved ones and the fact that you are still kicking and breathing is actually how I hear it. Your brother is really very strong. They actually just gave me pain in my heart, like physical pain in my heart. And I actually think you need to share. And I know that sounds crazy, but sometimes sharing our pain will help to ease our pain because we share it. And then part of the burden is off of you a little bit. But I think that your story, your journey, I'm not even sure why, but it might be a story that needs to be told to people. I think others may be able to benefit from it. I don't quite know how they want you to go about doing it, but they say you need to share. And I'm not quite, they say you need to share. And they love you. And yeah, I think you're smelling them a lot because your dad does this. If you're not smelling them, then you're seeing them, and he's trying to show me smell to show that you are connected. Okie dokie. Thank you, Lisa. Now, I said I'd end with Lisa, but so many more people have come. Oh, it's Lisa Break, not Lisa B. Awesome. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Sorry, I had like a whole day of readings before I started this. I really should have done that differently. Okie dokie. Going back to where I was. Caitlin. Oh, Caitlin, what do I need to hear to get motivated? I feel like I'm stuck and I can't get out of this funk. That's funny. Okie dokie. Because immediately showed you they pretty much funked you out of the funk, if you know funky dancing, funky. But I actually kind of, salt water. They're showing me salt water. Saltwater baths are what I use to, interesting. I don't think that so much you're in a funk, you actually might have received so much information that you haven't pushed it and moved it, because they're showing me sometimes I call it getting bogged in or bogged down with information, because every day they give you new information and almost every day you process it, but some days you actually miss that information. Then they give it to you, and then it goes and all backed up, kind of like the shelf in the grocery store. When it's full, that's that. And you got to take something out of it in order to get it moving again. What a good example. I like that. You know, the grocery store in the freezer section, when you pull out your Cremo and boom, another Cremo comes at you. That makes so much sense. So, and I can tell you the ways that I do it, because they show when I get all bogged in like that, I have a salt bath and I say, okay, what do you want to say? That gets it out. Infrared sauna can get it out as well, because I'm sweating it out and I can see that things are leaving, and then they have the time to give me information. Or, and I'm sorry if I'm offending anyone by saying this, orgasms. Orgasms can actually move that information as well. And honest to goodness, we females don't tend to put the importance of orgasms in the orgasm, but they are crazy important for your mental health, your emotional health, and your physical health. So if you have someone who can do that for you, do it for yourself, please. And maybe even doing it for yourself, please, is the best way to do it, because then you are creating that for you. But it's an expulsion of energy and it moves things along and around, just like the way it does physically. Because I honestly believe that women physically should masturbate and orgasm more for their uteral health. I firmly believe that, just like men need to masturbate and ejaculate more for their prostate health. Same thing, is just so much more okay for them to do it than us because of some sort of strange societal restriction about us. So that is actually what I see. Okay, they actually even showed me another one, running. Running can expel the energy too. And I know those seem like very, very, very physical things, but I kind of think that your funk has to do with physicality, because it's information you don't realize that you're able to get coming in. That's the way that they are showing it to me. So it's less of a funk and more of a bog, which bogs are funky too. I hope that helps. You're very welcome, Julie. I'm lucky my guy. Yes, Carrie. Yeah. Hello, Doreen. Can I see any changes for you, Tracy? Okie dokie. I'm supposed to say yes, absolutely. Every day is a change. It's just what you grasp from it. That's one. The second thing is, I kind of think that you might need to tell it. I don't see you saying I love you in the mirror. I actually see you saying to yourself in the mirror, you're a wonderful person. And oh, you're a wonderful person. And there's a reason bad things happen to you, because you're made of stronger stuff. Things like that. That's actually what they want you to say to yourself. They also, they just showed you look in your mirror. I don't know what's going on there, but I think they want you to take yourself all in. I think they want you to love yourself. I also, there's something about flaws and all. I'm not sure if somewhere inside of you, you feel that you need to be perfect in some sort of way. And I totally get that. I actually argue with myself a lot over trying to be perfect, or what you think perfect might be, or appearing perfect. Boy, is that ever a ball and chain on you when you want to be perfect or think you need to be perfect. But yeah, I actually think you need to accept yourself as how wonderful you are as a flawed and wonderful human being. That's actually, and that will actually help you to recognize the wonderful things that are happening for you. Because it actually may be that you might be concentrating on parts of you that aren't your favorite parts of you, or you might be letting that get in the way. And then when you get the message, you might think it's about the unfavorable parts. That's kind of confusing, but I hope that actually makes sense to you, because obviously it's especially for you, and they show it, because yeah, it's so weird, because it might come across as being negative, but it's actually quite a positive. And that's confusing as well. I know. But because it might be that things that you think are a detriment to you are actually a really huge positive and an amazing thing about you. Like, yeah. Sometimes I think I talk too much, and I'll tell people I think I insert too much. I know I interrupt too much. I am aware of it, but I hear things in my head and I pop them out, and it might be something that bugs me about me, but it actually might benefit people when I do it. It's like that. Okay. So I hope that helps, Tracy. Ah, I see. Will he want to stay with her and look after her and the boys? I'm supposed to say you will definitely want to look after the boys and be partnered with her. That's how I'm supposed to say it. I hope that is helpful. Lisa, sorry, Lisa break. Lisa break. Stop it, Lisa break. Oh my gosh, and it's 2 hours. Okay, hi Bobbi. My mom passed in November. My dad and brother passed 2 years ago as well. And then we already talked about this. We already talked about this. We already talked about this. Lisa B and Lisa Break. Are you the same thing? Are you the same person? That's why. Isn't it neat? Sorry. What I think is neat is that I said I was going to end with Lisa, and I did Lisa B, and I thought I was with Lisa Break, and I actually was with Lisa Break. Isn't that awesome? I like that's awesome. Okie dokie. All right. Ah, I'm so glad you caught my live today too. Okie dokie. Ah, wonderful. Okay, so oh, I didn't. I'm so sorry, guys. We have a not naughty person. Where did they go? There they are. Somebody is bothering people. I'm so sorry, guys. If this person has messaged you. Oh, let's get rid of you. Okie dokie. Okay, so I'm trying to block this person and I'm having a hard time blocking this person. So I'm not sure why that is happening, but Empress Divinity is not anyone I know and not anyone that I can sanction as a psychic for you. And anyone who is actually a psychic worth their salt doesn't need to actually bother people on a live stream that is not their own. So, Empress Divinity is a very blockable human being. I'm so sorry that they got in here on this. So, I'm going to delete their comments, but I can't seem to block them for some unknown reason. But I'm going to work on trying to. So, I apologize. Okie dokie. I'm glad that makes sense. Okie dokie. It might be because I blocked them down there that I couldn't block them. So, oh, right. Okay. Okay. Now, so I said I'd be done, but I'm actually just going to answer a couple of more only because I feel compelled to do so. Lisa, um, uh, yeah, Lisa. So it's my turn. Okie dokie. So I'm going to look for your question, Lisa. Ah, this message in the UK. Awesome. Okie dokie. Because you even saw yourself below Tracy there. So that makes perfect sense, Lisa. Okie dokie. And what time is it there right now? 8 hours difference, isn't it? Okie dokie. I'm seeing this. Now, I don't know if it's chilly in the UK right now. I've been to the UK. It's surprisingly cold, and I'm from Canada. I was really surprised how wet cold it was. So I don't know if that means that, but it also, this is what we do or what I do to create new energy in my hands. And I'm wondering if that's actually the same thing with you. I'm wondering if actually there's energy in your hands or if they want you to create new energy. When I do this, I'm actually getting ready to heal somebody. That's what I'm doing. I'm creating positive energy in my hands. It could very well be that they want you to create positive energy. Now, where you live, the other thing that I noticed about the UK when I was there is, holy cow, is it ever charged? There's like, it's one of the first places in the world and it's magical and amazing. And living there must be so neat, oh mosquito, on a regular basis. But so when I see you doing this with the energy, it could be that you need to create your own positive energy around you. I also wonder too, because what I'm seeing is if I were to go to the UK again, there are certain places I would visit this time. I would most definitely visit spiritual hubs, or what I would see as spiritual hubs or historical sites that to me make sense to me spiritually. There's something like that. And it could actually be that you live in a spiritual hub of some sort. And that's why they want you to create the new energy. They also, do you have a cat? What's so strange? I just see a cat suddenly. Because honest to goodness, and I don't know if it's just because you're from the UK and that's where my mind goes. I kind of saw a little witchiness with you. And then when I saw the little witchiness, I thought, well, I'm not going to say that just because she's from the UK. She probably is a witch because she's from the UK. And then I saw a cat. And then that kind of reinforced it because I do associate witchiness with cats and frogs and pointy hats. But pointy hats we don't really see quite as, yeah, you have to choose it. But the cats choose you. New energy, because also too, okie dokie, You're getting the feet thing as well. They're actually showing you, but you're just walking along and you flick something off your feet. So it's not that big a deal. And though, if you're born and raised British, you folks are made of stronger stuff. You flick things off like nobody's business. Yeah, British folks are really like that. Stiff upper lip, things like that. Stiff upper lip. And that stiff upper lip is actually a really big strength in my opinion of the British folk. So, okay. Now I'm also seeing you with several different hats on. New energy, different hats. New energy, different hats. Flick off the past and move forward, because I actually think you're a bit of a witch. When I think somebody's a witch, they're either practicing, like they're doing spells, they're Wiccan, they're going forward in that kind of way, or they are somewhat like me and they're naturally born with something that's glaring and obvious and out there. So you have to know that you're a little bit different than other folks. It's one or the other. So I hope that helps. I felt vague, but I hope that helps. Okay, now it's been 2 hours and 9 minutes, and I honestly I feel that I don't know how good I can be after this. Let me just put it that way. I can not thank you guys enough for showing up. This was wonderful. I had a wonderful time. I am so very, very glad I was guided to do this live feed. And in the last one, I promised I'd be back sooner. And I didn't lie. I just had a lot of family and personal stuff that happened. So I didn't manage to come back, but I will come back sooner. I'm starting to do fairs now as well every month. So that is kind of eating into my live feed time because fairs are quite exhausted. I do workshops at these fairs though too, which is not the same as this, but it can, in my workshops, I try to help everyone to figure out ways in which that they are psychic and move forward in that kind of way. So I will be at the Alchemy of Gathering in June, but I'm going to try to do a live feed before that, before around somewhere in mid-June. So I will keep you posted and I will let you know, and I will give you maybe more notice than 24 hours. Actually, I don't even think I give you guys that. So yeah, I gave less than 24 hours. Okie dokie. So thank you so much for coming. I had a wonderful time. I hope you did too. I hope everybody that came got a message. If you did not get a message, please come next time and let me know. Hey, I came on here last time and you didn't talk to me. Something to that effect if you wish. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate, love, and respect each and every one of you. Namaste. Bye.